guys, Doyle here with Doyle's Basement Records. Listening for the second time, Less Than Jake. What was this? A to the B side or something. Well, no. Shouldn't rush that like that. I is for the B. Oh, I is for the B side. Good God, that was pathetic. But this is gonna be an episode about one of the first times I heard a certain record. I'm gonna kind of do a little run of these. But before we get started, want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Please leave me in that comment section. Please let me know if I suck or if I'm doing all right for you guys. And please remember, I don't have any editing or anything like that. This is just me rambling on, kind of just trying to remember what I need to say without fucking it up too much. But you know, it happens. So let's get started. Now, I'm going to tell you about the first time I ever heard Led Zeppelin 1. I am a big Zeppelin fan. Have been probably since about 7th grade. The first Zeppelin record I ever listened to was Zeppelin 4, and then I'm not too sure after that if it was like 2 or 3. So this was like my 4th record I heard from them, and I'll never forget it. Alright, so I think I'm in 8th grade. It's Christmas Eve. I did ask this CD for Christmas, but not from my parents, from one of my cousins. And Christmas Eve, my parents always have a big Christmas Eve party, hors d'oeuvres and all that. The drinks are flowing for them, of course. Maybe at that age, I'm probably trying to maybe sneak a few drinks myself. I'm about 14. You know how it is. Probably smoking a cigarette on the side, you know, on the house. Oh, is anyone coming? No, put it out, quick. But anyways, I'll never forget. I'll never forget when I heard this. Like I said, we have a big Christmas Eve party. There's probably 35 people there or whatnot. At the end, everyone opens up a few presents towards the end of the night. And I opened mine, and it is this album on CD. And my dad sees, like, what do you got there? And he's like, oh shit, Led Zeppelin 1. Follow me. Right now my dad's 70. I'm 32. He's been playing guitar probably since he was about 13 or 14. So you do the math, and he is not a bad guitar player. He is very good guitar player. I know he wish he kind of, like in the 70s, he had, before the actual band called Alcatraz, he had a band called Alcatraz in the early 70s. And he mentions it still sometimes. He's like, I wish I stuck with that band instead of getting a job full time and even working like maybe 60 hours a week just making money. He'll talk about it time to time. He's like, I wish I maybe not worked so much and stuck with it. Not because I could have been famous anywhere, but you can be in one of those bands, you know, that you just do music your whole life and still get by with money. That could have been him. But anyways, we're heading upstairs. My dad's got some damn good guitars, music equipment. So we go upstairs. He puts the CD on. And I don't think if I did hear any of these songs before that, I'm guessing it was Communication Breakdown, but not 100% sure. He puts it on. Before he hits play, he grabs his 1952 remastered Telecaster, or reissued Telecaster, plugs that in, turns his amp up, and then Good Times, Bad Times comes on. And he's like, brum, brum. He starts playing with it. And, you know, it just stuck in my, how many years later, and it's still stuck in my head. I've told this story a few times. It was just so cool seeing him. He's like, oh man, I used to jam to this album all the time, and watching him play Good Times, Bad Times through the whole song it was cool. Cause I'm a big Christmas guy too. I love Christmas, especially our Christmas Eve party. So it just added to the cake, you know. I should not be yawning. I slept a bunch. But that was that's probably one of my favorite Christmases. Just seeing like my dad's reaction, like, oh, Zeppelin 1, all right. And he knew I was starting to get into Zeppelin a little bit. And that's probably right when I started playing guitar too. I probably have a few months in playing guitar at 8th grade. No more than a few months before that party. Um, but yeah, it was so cool just seeing him play along with that. Then he skipped around. I think the next one he put kind of messed around with like Dazed and Confused. Cause he's a little slower, so he loves his slow blues. He did that, and then of course he played Communication Breakdown with it. So I got to hear a few tracks before I got to listen to it from start to finish. And he, like I said, he played along with those three in his little music room upstairs, where everyone else was kind of opening presents downstairs. But it was cool, man. I apologize for this yawning, man. My God. But it's one of those moments, you'll remember for the rest of your life, and that's what it was for me. Just seeing him jam with it, I was just seeing how good he is at playing guitar. I was like, God dang. Dude, my dad's had a lot of cool guitars. He's had some of the ones, like I said, he's 70. He's had those 1957 Gibson Les Pauls. They're going for almost $1 million right now. But back then you didn't know that. And like one of those guitar players back then, he was always switching guitars in and out. As any guitar player, pretty much back then, they're switching guitars out like fucking baseball cards, man. But he's like, man, he's and I've seen pictures of so many of his guitars he's had in the 60s and 70s. And he's like, man, only if I would have known it was going to be worth that much, we'd be retired, Because back then he said he only spent, what was it, $250 bucks for a 1957 Gibson Les Paul. That is a lot of money right now. Man. But yeah, this was just gonna be a little short video, nothing too long. I don't know what album I'm gonna do next. These are, like I said, I'm gonna do a kind of little on some albums I do remember the first time I ever listened to them, kind of where I was, what I thought, and of course, I thought it was great. I mean, how could you? I mean, Zepplin, one of the best debut albums of all time. That's another one I've been working on, my top 20 debut albums of all time, and not just doing rock or whatever, all genres for me. But oh man, still I think a pretty cool album cover as well. But man, give them a little respect. I mean, when John Bonham died, it's amazing. They're like, no, it's over. Most bands don't do that, especially as popular and how much money they left on the table. Of course, they still made their money, and of course they did. They still. Him and Jimmy still jammed together and did some shows, but it was never called Led Zepplin. It was always called like Robert playing Jimmy Page or vice versa. I think that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to bust out a short one, nothing too long. But that's gonna be the first album I do on this little area. Other than that, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, please. Leave me that in a comment. Let me know some of the albums that you remember listening to, like it was yesterday. That one will always hold us, but it's like I said, a very special place in my heart. All right, guys, thanks.